All right, good morning. We're gonna see how this goes. I gotta move a Glock. I didn't know the dadgum thing was sitting there so close to camera. Excuse me while I get my morning dip. I gotta have tobacco in the morning. All right, yeah, there you go. You see, we'll look at it right here. I'll move it all the way around and everything. There you go. All right, I gotta cover this up. And we'll move it around like that. Yeah, there you go. There, that's my Glock 43 X MOS. No sight on it. All right. Very good. We're gonna cover this up. We're gonna move it out of the way. All right. Yeah. There we go. Personal protection. It doesn't just mean wearing rubber anymore or taking birth control pills. All right. What we want to talk about today while we let people discover where the channel is at and get in chat and all that good stuff. We're gonna go to live chat, see if everything. I'm gonna show you guys a couple of items that I have picked up recently that I think you guys would be interested in. I really believe that you'll be interested in some of this stuff. But first off, let's talk about Durban auctions. Durban auctions, couple of the best people I know up in Minnesota. They're living up there close to Kanakistan, and I, as you know, collect Canadian coins because I, like a lot of people, believe that Canada has one of the best mints in the world as far as beauty, as far as diversity, as far as quality, as far as presentation goes, of any of the mints in the world. Oh, excuse me while I get that first bit of caffeine in me. Okay. I have, all right, I got a piece from Silver Gold Bull. I got a piece from Durban auctions, or a couple. And I got a couple of pieces from a local auction, estate sale um, coins. So we're going to be looking at some stuff this morning. I mean, it's cool. We're going to see it. All right, first thing, Durban auction. This has been opened. I have not looked at it. I don't know what's in here, but I have opened it. All right, so let's dump this out. All right, there we go. Nothing left in there. Okay, presto. What do we got? We have invoices. We have invoices from two separate auctions. Okay. And they're really good about packaging stuff together so it doesn't cost me as much in shipping, which is wonderful. Cost me $6 initially for the package, okay, and only $2 for whatever additional was going in there. So not a bad deal. So I know I can look at the invoices and tell you what's in here right away. But let's look. Let's go from small to big, should we? Small to big. You can tell. Oh, that's a slab. You can tell it. You can tell it's a slab coin. You know it. I don't really like to buy a whole lot of slab coins, but I will buy some. Oh, look at that. Canadian Grizzly, ANAX, slab coin. Canadian Grizzly. Look at Kiwi's girlfriend on the back. Let me read what we have here. It's an Anax SP70. I don't know what that means. SP proof, something proof. It's a 2014 $1 Canadian Grizzly Anax certified. Ooh, no, not $1. That's $100 coin. That's $100 coin. That's why I bought it. Yes. Not that I don't have Grizzlies. Not that I don't have slab coins. I don't have $100 Grizzly coins. $100 coin. Think about that. How many $100 coins does the United States Mint have? None that I know of. How many $100 coins anywhere in the world that you can think of that aren't gold, that are silver? None that I can think of. What does this look like? This looks like a Silver Eagle size. Yep. Silver Eagle size. Looks like Silver Eagle size. $100 coin. So we got 30, say it's 1 ounce of silver. Say it's 31.1 grams of silver. We have $30 worth of silver, $32 worth, $35 worth of silver, say. Or say it's a $40 coin with a $100 face denomination on it. Awesome. Awesome coin, man. Awesome coin. All right, that's what we got there. We're going to leave that. Yeah, we're not. I'm going to get you well, something where you can see it. Oh, you know what? Another thing I can do is back this camera up just as far as I can get it. I can't get it any further, I don't think. But I'll leave it right there. Okay. That way you'll be able to see it. And then I'll open up further down. Okay, and then the next smallest package in there is this one. Oh, this is beautiful too. It's been in somebody's collection for a while. I can tell by the package, but I can tell by the box. If you look, this box opens right here. There's a little tab where it opens. I'm gonna set this little beauty down here. All right. Oh no, I can't do that. That doesn't work on the pillow. So let's go like that. Like that. All right, here, we can do that probably. Yeah, we'll set it up like that. There you go. All right. As you can see, this thing opens up, comes up with the tab. Look at that. Say you got the Queen Charlotte Islands, 1774, 1999. So this is a commemorative, looks like. Celebrating the 225th anniversary of the voyage of, you get the old man eyes out. The voyage of Juan Perez and the sighting of the Queen Charlotte Islands. The 225th anniversary, he says it in French, blah, blah, blah. From 1774 to 1999, Royal Canadian Mint, commemorative sterling silver dollar. And on the back, it's got all of it's basically your COA. Face value $1. Sterling silver content, 92.5%. And the size in designer David Craig. Juan Perez and the sighting of the Queen Charlotte Islands, effigy of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II on the back. Anything else on here? No. Excuse me. But you can tell it's been in somebody's collection for a while because it looks like the box is blown out just a little bit right there. It looks like it's supposed to be there, but it doesn't look like it's supposed to be there. Same thing here. It's supposed to come down. See, it's supposed to open on the side. And you can tell that. See, that's supposed to open. And this is supposed to open on the front, right there. That's how that's supposed to open. And that comes up. It tells the whole story, English and French. That comes off. And look at more story. This will come out like this. And this seems like this right here opens up. And that opens up. And that's how the little dealy whacker gets put in there to the side. The box gets all put together like that. But that's not a terrible big thing to me. The boxes aren't a terrible big thing to me. And see, there's a picture of the ship. So it almost looks like it's meant to set up like that somehow in a display. But I don't know that. And you see, this is right here. So it looks like it can go like this, gets put in there like that, and it sets up. So it's also a display case. All right, we have that discovered. So let's take a look at this coin. There's Her Majesty the Queen. And this is a beautiful proofy coin too. Just beautiful proofy. If I didn't know better, I'd say this one should get graded. But there's the ship. And I'll bet Frosty would really like this coin. If I can get it back a little bit, maybe you can see it better. I don't know. Or maybe I can go like this and you can see it better. That's a pretty boat, people. Pretty boat. All right. God dang, that's nice and proofy. Man, that one should go and get graded. I swear. Okay, so we put that in there like that. We put that in there like that. Fold that under, fold that over. See how it is like that? Tab goes in there and it's closed. See? That's how it puts together. I don't know about you, but that's pretty as hell. I like that coin. And we're going to put that out of the way here after a while, but here's my third one. The third package from Durbin Auction Service. Joe and Diane Durbin, who live in Minnesota, have a few Canadian coins on their auction because that's of where he lives. And I'm happy I found the auction because I collect Canadians. I believe Canadians, again, are one of the most beautiful coins in the world. And I have to admit that I do like Germania. I do like the Purse Mint. And I do like Comsco. Comsco does a wonderful job. And some of the independent guys out there are getting really good at pouring now. So, but I like Canadian Mint simply because of what I stated before, but because they're a government mint. The Purse Mint is not a government mint. Germania is not a government mint. Comsco is not a government mint. So I like coins that have government denominations on them. Let's just say, and you can tell me I'm wrong, but I'm a prepper stacker collector. I like coins that have silver. If they find another metal that does the same thing as silver, is cheaper, and they use that for solar panels and for military and for every electrical uses that silver is used for, they find another material that's cheaper and the quantity is greater, and the value of silver goes to hell. The value of silver goes to hell. I want coins that have a face value on, that are backed by a government. Now, whether those governments are still in existence or not, it makes no difference to me, because the time I have left in this life, I don't believe our government's going away. I don't believe the Canadian government's going away. I don't believe the Australian government's going away. The South African government, the Austrian government, or the British government is going away in my lifetime. So when I pass these coins on to my daughters, they will have coins that still have a face value if there's no silver value left. You understand my thinking? This is like 90% silver. Good idea to have the silver, but still a good idea to have the face value. That's why I don't like collector coins in series that have no face value. Yeah, some of them are very beautiful. For example, and very collectible to people now. For example, here, my gold gilded Durga. One of 65 minted. One of 65. And I know a guy, Brad V, who has 2 or 3 of the other ones. So there's like 60 more out there in the world someplace. And there's 2 of us that have 4 of them. Beautiful coin. This is a beautiful coin. And when we race for this thing, it's going to be, I don't know, $8 a spot for 100 for 25. Yeah, it'd be $8 a spot for 25 spots. But hey, that's what we got right now. And it's a beautiful coin. I was off my point there, but it's a beautiful, beautiful coin. But it has no government value. It's not backed by any government. And being gold gilded adds to its beauty, but there is some chemical process that has to be done, and it's way too expensive to extract the gold from the silver right now. You know, you can get gold coated steel, and those coins or bars or whatever they are would be just too expensive to extract the gold from it. That's why they do it. It looks pretty, and you can't get the gold off it. I don't know. You tell me if I'm wrong. Yes. With my old eyes, let's see if we can see something that small. Oh, yeah. What does that say? www. Mint CA. And a phone number for the Canadian Mint. 2 phone numbers. Cool as shit. So you can tell it's relatively new if it's got a barcode on it. A Royal Canadian Mint. Let's take this out and take a look at it. Usually the mint's pretty good. Oh, I think they've gotten a little cheaper here. Oh, they cheapened up on this one. Look at this one. You know, I've shown you some really nice wooden ones with metal hinges and leather or a leather look-alike. This is plastic. Plastic. I mean, they've done a good job on it, but it's still plastic at the end of the day. Let's open this up. Oh, man. Okay. Opens up oddly. Oh, no, it doesn't. Opens up the right way. Here's our little, it's a commemorative, I'm sure of it. All of our info. Let's take a look at the info and see what it says. Impressive display in red and white. The Canadian flag never fails to blah, blah, blah. 40, yeah, fucking whatever. Certificate of authenticity, SCOA. Okay. Does it have anything on here that says what this is? The coin. Okay, that's French. Let's go down to the coin. This fine silver proof dollar contains 9999 silver. It has a diameter of 36.07 millimeters and weighs 25.175 grams. So it's not an ounce. Designed by Royal Canadian Mint engraver William Woodruff. This coin depicts Canada's national flag surrounded by the Peace Tower of Parliament and celebration fireworks. The obverse features the portrait of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II by Susanna Blunt. Okay, so we know what this coin is then. And that goes right there in that pocket. Now, we can get the coin out by doing this. We can pull that out and we can pop that out. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to pop that out. We're going to take a look at it. And this one's pretty proofy too. There is the Queen, Kiwi's girlfriend, on the back. And I don't really like this picture of her. She looks old and with a hooked nose on this one. I don't know. Nose looks too big on this one. And then on the front, the flag, the maple leaf, fireworks, House Parliament. See if I can do this. And bring this over in there. There you go. Look at that bad boy. Oh, yeah. The fireworks display. Beauty, ain't it? Ah, beautiful proofy coin. And that says 1965 to 2005 with the designer's initials on the front. Oh, that's proofier than hell. That one should probably get graded too. I don't know. That's a pretty coin. All right. All right, let's see if I can put this one over here. Set it up like that, maybe, so you can see it. My pillow is being stupid today. We'll put it up like that so you can see it, I think. We'll back him up a little bit. We'll back him up a little bit. I can always adjust the camera. We'll back him up a little bit. I don't know. Bring him up here. Maybe see him better up there. I can't do that either. Too close. So we'll close that one up. We got other stuff to look at. But that's all we got from Durban. So I'm going to package this up and put it back in the bags. You know, these Canadian coins go in my safe. I've got a couple of, I have a 4-drawer file safe. And I mean a big, heavy bastard that I got at an auction. I got it for $100, man. And it was one of the best buys I ever made because it was, it took 3 strong men and a boy to move that thing. And in one drawer, I have some firearms related items, scopes and lasers and that kind of thing. And in another drawer, I have ammunition. No, yeah, I do. I have some ammo. So I try to keep ammo segregated, and holsters and stuff in one for several different carry items. One drawer is nothing but Canadian mintage stuff. And the bottom drawer is for my others, for some other silver. So we will take this, put it in the truck, we'll run it out over to another safe, and we'll put it in there. And in the bottom drawer, I have regular silver stuff that I race or I sell, or I have some government denominated stuff in there, but that's usually kept somewhere else. And the stuff that I'm keeping, my stack per se, this Canadian stuff goes in my stack. So when I get enough of this, I will co-op that bottom drawer and put all my Canadian stuff in there. All right. I had a local auction. It was an estate auction. The man started buying silver when silver was high. He got scared, or he thought he was going to make some god-awful money. So he started buying silver. There are 3 auctions. The first one's done. Second one's going on. Third one's at the end of the month. He bought a lot of silver. Bought it when silver was high. I bought, and I got outbid on all the 90%, the dimes, the quarters, and the halves. I bid on all of it. Silver Eagles, bid on a lot of them. This is the only one I was able to get for $30 it cost me. This is an SMI, and you can see that at the bottom. Maybe you can see it at the bottom. It's an SMI. See it at the bottom there? It's an Eagle lookalike. So if you look in the middle, you see that round circle. It says that that's a private mint. That's the mint mark. There's no denomination on it. Yeah, they let me have this one for $30, the assholes. So I got that one, but I did get a couple pieces of gold. He had some gold on this. He had Eagles, and he had some foreign stuff, old stuff. So I got some old stuff. I got 2 of these. These are 0.23. They're British sovereigns, basically quarter-ounce British sovereigns. We're going to have to. On a horse with a sword or a spear, slaying a dragon or some goddamn thing. I think that's George the 7th or 12th or some damn thing on the front. But you see, it's a 1904 British gold sovereign, 0.22502, and it actually weighed a little. I took it out of the flip. It weighed a little heavy, not bad. And I put them on my Sigma, and they test good. These are 22 karat. They're not 24. So they test good. I don't buy anything at an auction I don't test. And here's a 1905. So I had a 1904 and a 1905 British gold sovereign. Oh shit, and I put them back in the flip upside down. Yeah, but the horse was right. And they both tested okay with the Sigma. They both weighed just maybe a gram. No, yeah, a few grains too heavy, but that's not a big deal as long as they're not light. I don't care. They still tested in the green for 22 karat, so they're good. So we have a couple of British sovereigns and a ASE lookalike. The sovereigns were fairly cheap. Well, no, they weren't. I think I got them about, I don't know. Well, they were under gold price. Let's put it that way. I think I bought them for $4.75 a piece. I didn't think that was too bad. So if you just figure $500 for a quarter ounce, you're looking at $2,000 spot on gold, and we all know it's above that. So this is the gold that I was able to get from that auction, and there's more coming up. And I have sent the link. Okay, now we got chat. I got to go look here. I got to see what we got. We got Diane's cabin. Hi, Diane. How are you? Did you see I gave you a shout out again this morning? And I needed to show you a couple of things I got on a local auction. I've been looking at auctions online. I'm not real big on buying online auctions because a lot of the pictures, when I enlarge on them and go to them of the gold, very blurry pictures. I can't even make out details in the picture. And they only show me one side. They won't show me both sides. So I stay away. I steer clear, especially if I can't go there and test them. Because I go to this auction, I can go there in half an hour to this auction house. I can go there in a half an hour, and I tell the guys there that I'm going to test this stuff before I take it. If it tests bad or poorly, I'm not buying it, and they understand that. So, yes, Diane, I am kind of a prep. I'm mostly a prepper, but I do collect. I do collect some things. I collect Canadian coins. And the one thing, Diane, if you ever see them, is Canadian First Special Service Force commemorative coin. They made half-ounce silvers every year, 2013 to 2021. And they didn't make one in 2020 because of COVID. But oh, he's upside down. So we'll just turn this around because he's up. He's on the right side that way. He's on the right side that way. We'll put him up here where you guys can see him a little better. And First Special Service Force coins, half-ounce silver, commemorating the World War II unit, First Special Service Force. And didn't make it in 2020, but I have every year except, and it seems like hard for me to find 2021 and 2016 or 18, one of those 2 years, I can't find. Every year they made a half-ounce. 1 year they made a 3/4 ounce, and I have that one, a couple of them. I think that was 2013 or 14 in there. And every year they made a 10th-ounce gold commemorative. And I have every year except for those 2 years that I can't find for some reason. And 1 year they made a 1/4 ounce. And I do have that one. So I'm missing 2 years of silver that I can't find, half-ounce silvers. They never made a 1-ounce silver, and I don't know why. They just never did. But I collect those. Big time collection of those. So if you find a tube of them, if you find a single one or whatever, just remember I will buy them. I don't care what they cost. I will buy them. And you guys are up there where you find them. So let me know. Always let me know those. I will buy them. All right, that's what I got from the local auction. Now let me show you what I got from Silver Gold Bull. There's another thing I collect. I collect the Dragon from Perth Mint 2024. The coins that have the P125 marking on the front. I'm trying to collect that whole set. I wanted to stay away from series. but somehow I got roped into buying the entire set. And I'm trying to get them all. And I think the silver ones, the only one I'm missing right now at this point is the kilo. Oh man, I can't even show you these, can I? Let's put them out here. I don't know if I can hold them up or not. Okay, here's the 5 ounce. Big chunky hockey puck 5 ounce. Hey, here's the 2 ounce. Now I've seen plenty of these on races here. I think Brad V or RC's got them. I'm not sure which. This one you're not going to find without paying for it. That's a 2 ounce colorized. And the reason I collect these is because I like to drag it on these. I don't know why. I just like to drag it on these better than the other ones because this looks like a double drag and the other ones look like a single. All right. Then what do we got here? We have a 1 ounce silver. That's a kook. Don't really want him. I mean, I don't know why he's in there. And here we have a 1 ounce colorized. Okay, here's a 1/2 ounce regular silver. And my colorized is in the mail and coming to me. So I have a 1/2 ounce colorized also. Now I will, I got a 2024 kook in there too because it's got the P125 marking on it. But I'm not really collecting kooks or koalas. I'll put a kook and a koala in there because those are very noticeable coins. And I'm not going to collect, like if there's a gold gilded one, I'm not going to collect that, or colorized one, kook or koala. I'm not going to all those. Okay, I need the kilo that goes up here yet by the 5 ouncer. There's a kilo that goes over here, which I got to get. Then I got to work on the gold ones for this, the solid gold ones. I think there's a 1/10 ounce. I'm not sure if there's a 1/2 ounce or 1/4 ounce, but there is a 1/10, I believe. Then the one I want to show you real quick is this one I got from Silver Gold Bull. It's the Australian Lunar Series again, but nice packaging by the Perth Mint. And I don't know why they didn't just sell the coin, but they sold the entire package. I was just looking for the coin to go with the collection in just a clear case like this. That's all I wanted. But this is what I got. It opens like that. And you can see that this is already in a presentation case of some type and kind. And you can already see what it is, can't you? It's a certificate of authenticity, Lunar Series, Series 3, 1 ounce silver gilded coin. This has the magnetic top on. It has the COA with all of your information. There's my number because this one is numbered. Here is a nice felt with foam inside insert. Very soft and flexible. Almost like a lens cloth. Almost. But it has foam in. And this is coin pulls up and out like that. This is the gold gilded 1 ounce silver dragon beauty coin. Beauty coin. But what disappointed me was that the queen is not gold gilded. It's just plain old silver on the back. And if they'd have done that, if they'd have done this gold gilding on the front, it would have been so much prettier. But there you go. That goes down here with my color eyes. Now, they didn't do a gold gilded version of any of the 2 ounce, 5 ounce, or the half ounce that I know of. But that's the one that I got. I mean, it's a pretty coin. It really is. And that's why I don't collect series of itty coins, is because this is what happens right here. This is what happens. They make so many different coins in a series that you end up buying. So it's a marketing ploy. I understand. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Dale. Hi. Who else is here, man? Diane's cabin is here. Yes, I knew. Yes, I can see my chat. I'm just not looking at it because my monitor is off to the right side of my head. All right. Do I need to go up and look at something? No, I don't. Okay. Yes, I can see my chat. Oh, Natty Stacking's there too. Hi. But that's one of the reasons. And if you really wanted to, and if you were big into the 125th anniversary of the Perth Mint, you could do the koalas. And I have an ounce, a half ounce, or an ounce koala and an ounce kookaburra with a P125 on. But then they also make half ounce version, quarter ounce, 20 ounce, 20th ounce. You know, there's just so many of them. But I personally, I like this dragon design better than any of the other dragon designs for some stupid reason. So I decided to collect these. And I might sell that whole collection once I get it complete. And that means the gold and the silver with it. I might keep the gold. Yeah. But it depends on what I can get for it. But the whole collection would be thousands of dollars. I mean, well over 2,000 anyway. So, and that's why I don't like collecting series. It's because of the marketing ploy to get you to buy more, which is to make more of different sizes and different colors and different gildings. And that's why I don't collect series. But for some reason, I like that dragon. So that's what I got. Yeah, I know. Collect what you like, but those are pretty. I like them. The one reason I collect from the Canadian mint or Canadian coins is because they have a denomination on them of $1 or $5 or $20 or $100 coin, like I showed you. That grizzly. I've never seen $100 coin before that wasn't gold. That was a silver coin. And yeah, I paid 50% too much for it, but the collectability is, and that's like the Voyager coins, you know, the two guys in the canoe from Canada. They're 1 ounce silver. Yes. They have about as much silver in as a Morgan. But the collectability on those coins is astronomical. You know, that coin probably sold for $16, $18 when it was made. They're bringing upwards of $60, $65 nowadays because you can't get them. And so when I see them, I buy them. I don't collect Morgans. I don't collect peace dollars, although I like peace dollars. which in my opinion, is still the most beautiful design that the United States Mint ever put out. But a lot of people will disagree with me. So, no, I don't collect them. So I don't have a book. I don't, don't do all that. But yeah, I know Sailor's got a lot. And Kiko likes her Maple Leafs, I can tell you that. So she has a fair amount. I'm trying to get like them. I'm trying to be trying to get up there with the big boys. You know what I mean? Nah, I'm sure there are people that have collections of Canadian. They have every year of every coin of, of every design. I don't. Again, with the Canadians, I collect what I like. However, I collect a lot of Canadians because I think they have the best selection, the best designing, the best presentation, just the best mint, in my opinion. Yes, Germania, good mint. Yes, Perth mint is a good mint, but they're not government mints. Well, I don't know, Germania might be because they put a denomination on their coins, put a 5 mark or a 10 mark denomination on. So they might be a government sanction. They might be a government mint. I also like the design on the Philharmonics. If you like music, you like Philharmonics. I like Philharmonics. I don't have as many as I would like. And same thing with Krugerrands. Krugerrand is a pretty simplistic coin, but the beauty is in its simplicity. And it's one of the oldest gold coins. So yeah, I'll take a Krugerrand, silver or gold, any day. But I don't go out of my way to collect them. Not like I do the Canadians. So yeah, I'm a prepper stacker, but I'm also a quasi collector, you could say. So yeah, you could put that kook in there with it because that's a 125th anniversary coin, just like koala. I'd have to look for that. I don't know where that's at. It's someplace up there amongst all the other koalas that are up for races. But yeah, that gold gilded one and the price on the gold gilded one took me by surprise. That is an expensive coin, and the reason is, what do you suppose the reason is? Well, the reason is because of that case right there. And now I got to straighten that out. It's because of this case. Exactly why it costs as much as it does. Go on Silver Gold Bull, look them up and see what you think. I think they were like $75, $76 when I bought it. But big part of this collection, had to have it. And let's put that out of the way over here so you can see the rest of this stuff. I had to have it. So now the kilo coin. Let's talk about that kilo silver. I got to get that one before they go out of existence, or they don't make them anymore, or they become so expensive I can't afford it. I think those kilo coins are $600-700 right now. So I would have to either put it on a credit card, or I'd have to lay off buying some gold for a couple months, buy that one, and then go back to buying my budgeted amount every month. But and if people are preppers, if people are stackers, one good piece of advice is to not overextend yourself. Don't put stuff on credit cards. Set a budget, what you can afford every month. If you can only buy one piece, say you can only buy one piece of silver every month or every 2 months, then budget for that. If you can buy 2 or 3, budget for that. But pay the bills, man, and live. I mean, this stuff right here is not like getting out in the woods and walking around and breathing some fresh air and watching the deer run around. I mean, it's not, or go out and hunt turkey, deer, whatever. I've been getting more into this as I had surgery on my ankle in September. I have been rehabbing. I rehabbed for 6 months because I couldn't walk on it. So I sat in front of a computer for 6 months. I did a lot of buying. And I'm glad, every downside has an upside. And the downside to my ankle surgery was that I was laid up for 6 months again, because that's the second time it's been fused. The first time the VA did it, didn't do a very good job, and it was starting to, my tibia was starting to slide off my ankle again to the right. So I had to have it refused. This time the civilian doctor, the VA paid for it, of course, but the civilian doctor opened up the right side of my ankle, put a plate in there, took some bone marrow, and I call it 2-part epoxy, and epoxy that plate in there, and so that the bone marrow is so that it'll grow into the bone, around the bone, in the bone. And then what she did, took a rod and stuck it up through the heel of my foot, through the ankle bone, through the plate, into my tibia. And it's about 8 inches into my tibia. And my ankle doesn't move now. I walk flat on my foot. Yes, true, I walk like a pirate. But I got a foot there with toes on I can still feel. I don't have a peg leg. So that was the downside. And the upside was my ankle doesn't move anymore. It's fixed permanently. It's good now. The other upside was I found this community. I found this coin community. And I think I found one of the most caring, giving communities on the internet. I think, we got the Wounded Warrior Project auction coming up. We got Ghost Nancy's Christmas in July. People gifted me things. I've gifted people things. With people have health issues, we try to help them out. Wheelchairs. We raise money for tracked wheelchairs. We raise money. And I have a friend whose name is Bill Richards. He is an equipment truck driver and personal friend and attendant on stage to Jack Russell. Jack Russell, you might know from Great White, the band Great White. Jack Russell has some back issues. His wife and Bill Richard try to help him around on stage and setting up his equipment and driving his equipment and stuff. And I know Bill, and I know his children. One of them just lives north of me, 45 minutes. And we caught up this spring. I met him up in Rochester, Minnesota, and we had lunch and caught up. But one of Bill's pet projects is a clean water project in Africa. And I'm a big proponent of clean water. I own a clean water company, Stocks, Origin Clear, making freshwater machines for countries and communities. And that's his gig. And I'm going to help him one of these days. I am going to try and raise some money for his charity. But what I found was, and got off on a sidetrack there, what I found is that this coin community that I'm in right now with you guys, Lisa and Dale and Natty and Sailor and Rocco and Gold Sniping Farmer and Spokane and you name it. You go on and on and on. Christina, Snoopy. I've met a lot of vet friends here. And you'd be surprised at the age of folks in this community, all the way from their 20s, late 20s, up into their 60s or later. You know, look at our friend who just passed, and this community is the most caring community I think I've ever seen. Whether it's in my personal walkabout daily life or on the internet, you guys are just great, man. Just great. And that's one of the big upsides to being laid up for 6 months. To my being laid up for 6 months is that I found it. I found you guys. So I look at that as a tremendous upside. Tremendous upside. And you got me a little bit more into collecting stuff. And now I pop up on open panels and um, do races. So I've been buying coins that are not my preferred coins, but it's silver that you guys like to collect or that you want. And we do races for it. And to be honest with you, I have more fun doing that. I have more fun watching people win and go through the thought process of collecting a coin to win, because everybody wants to get the most bang for the buck, I want to say. So they look over what you got, and they're thinking, okay, well, what does this one cost? What does that one cost? How about this one? Oh, I like that one better. It's I find that fun right there. Yes, Dale, I want that. And there's another one that Silver Selling Machine has. Um, that's in a slab. I want that one too. I tried to win that one last night and I couldn't. So, yeah, that one that Rocco has, he sent me a text message and I said, oh, I'm so tempted. What does that one cost? And he told me what it cost. Holy crap, man. Yeah, I'd have to set aside my budget for the month to get that one. Yeah, I'll bet you want that one. Yeah. Yeah, it costs some money, but man, that's a beautiful coin. And the thing is, with those really pretty coins like this one right here, or with with the presentation case and stuff like that, or that one Canadian I got, or a couple of those Canadians I showed you earlier. If you don't display them, set them up on a desk or set them up on a table where everybody can see them all the time when they walk into your house, what good are they if you put them in a safe and they stay in a dark safe drawer for 30 years? I mean, yeah, I'd like to have it. I'd like to have it in the collection. And the downside is it's so pretty that I wouldn't want to display it. And I don't. My wife doesn't really care about coins. She has no care whatsoever. It's not her thing. She is a healthcare worker. She works at a nursing home. She cares about people. She cares about helping people, which I can't fault her for that. She's on a ladies' bowling league for the church. She is very religious. I am not. Coins like this, you want to display. You want to put on display so that other people can see them. But you don't. You put them back in a bag. You put them in a safe or in a vault so nobody will steal them, like that one. That one could be displayed too, or should be displayed, because it has a display case that comes with it. You know, it has a display case that you can set up. This is a pretty, one of the This has got to be one of the prettiest coins I've seen in a long time. And this has a display case. It folds over and back. Man, is that proofy. That thing should get graded. But like I say, we have coins that should be on display, but they're not. We buy them, they're pretty, they may have some collector's value, but we put them in a vault or in a safe, and we keep them. Yeah, I know, Dale, but the wives and my daughters are the same way. I've shown two of my daughters where I keep all my coins, and I say, all of these coins are going to be yours, or 1/3 of them. You girls are going to have to decide what you want to keep, what you don't want to keep, what you want to sell, what you don't want to sell. And then you're going to have to split that 3 ways. But I said, I'm buying this for you. I buy these coins because I want them to appreciate in value, like if I bought a stock or a bond or whatever. I want that to appreciate in value so that you have something when I die. So it's a savings account in essence. I don't keep money in the bank. I only keep enough money in the bank to pay the bills in my checking account. Otherwise, I don't have any savings in the bank. I refuse. I have maybe $1,000 in the savings account just for in case I overdraw my checking account. But that's all. Cash I keep here. Cash I keep here. The extra cash I have goes into gold and silver. And I call me stupid, call me not. I got some platinum too. I think I have 10 ounces of platinum for each girl. I have a fair amount of gold and silver because when I retired from work, I converted my 401k at work. Now, this was 26 years of life savings at work. I converted that into a gold and silver IRA, precious metals, physical precious metals. I held it in my hand. I had it. I bought from Atmex. I bought from a company in California. I bought from somebody else. So I spread it out who I bought from. And that is in a physical precious metals IRA. My custodian is Kingdom Trust. I had to form a trust, an LLC. And that money is held by the trust, and Kingdom Trust is my custodian. That's held in a commercial vault with, I believe, Money Metals Exchange. I'm not sure. I think so. I've had it in 2 different vaults now. And then the stuff that's not in my IRA, I keep in a couple different locations in safes and vaults here at home and at my brother's and wherever. So, but yeah, I've told my girls this is going to be yours. This is my savings account. This is what you're going to get when I die. My wife gets the farm. She gets my retirement income. My disability, of course, will go away. I have my VA disability. But my wife is taken care of. I hope my girls are taken care of. So, yeah, when the whole be your own bank thing came about, I thought to myself, and as the world turned to shit, and I didn't trust the banking system anymore, I started putting my savings account into metals. I didn't want to be one of those guys whose bank fails, gets bought out by somebody else, or that the FDIC, because we all know the FDIC doesn't have enough money if all the banks or half the banks in the United States fail. They don't have enough money to cover everybody. So what will happen, you still have to have a bank, So what'll happen? You'll have a bail-in. Used to be you'd be bailed out. You'd get your money. The FDIC would pay you your money. You get bailed out. Not anymore. You'll get bailed in. So they'll take your money. They'll just seize it. They won't give it to you. They'll bail out the bank with your money. You will become part owner of the bank, and that's your money right there. Good luck trying to get anything to pay your bills with. So I keep enough money in the bank just to cover my checking account. I have my checking account to pay my bills. And one of the reasons why I don't have checks coming to my house to cash is because the government, who I worked for, required that I have electronic transfer. My money had to. They made me. That's in the Army, and that's in the civilian job with the Department of the Army. Made me put my funds into the bank electronically. So that's what I did. And that's what I do. I don't know if anybody is interested anymore in talking, but I've showed you everything I have from Durban, from the Durban auction house, and from my local auction house. And drop that. I have put that link online, and I'll put that link online again. It's a national auction network, but my local auction house belongs to that network. So I only buy from my local auction house because I can go there, like I say, and I can. I can. I can test whatever I want right there. Now, where did that other bag go? I'm missing a bag. Bag missing. And so that's what we have for collectible stuff and the stuff that I've got lately. I haven't checked the mail today, but we'll have some more. I have some more coming from Durbin's. I have more coming from Gold Sniping Farmer. God, I love his auctions too. Gold Sniping Farmer has the best auctions, I think. Anyway, I have the most fun at his auctions. Durbin's, I have a lot of fun at his too, but at his there. One of the reasons I have a lot of fun at their auctions is because of Bibby. And if you haven't been to a Durban auction, you don't know who Bibby is. Bibby is the puppy, German Shepherd, that Joe and Diane have. Wonderful little dog. Wonderful little dog. And she whines and she talks. And she gets in trouble. She gets in trouble. I don't know if I can find one. I can't. I'd have to put it back here so you can see it. That one still amazes me, and I'm glad I bought it. Yeah, it cost me too much, but that $100 grizzly, it's $100 coin. Look at that at the bottom, $100 coin. Same size as a silver dollar. $100 coin. Denomination up there. $100 coin. God, I like that. I like that a lot. All right, let's cover up camera for a second. Bring back the toys. All right, there we go. Bring back the toys. And we'll set that up there like that. There you go. You got assets and you got protection. What more could a man ask for? And this thing, I got to get my pen out, my pointer. This thing right here is an asset. The things that go in it down here and up here are assets. The things, the pieces, the components, repair parts of these things right here, the repair parts of these things, and the components to put the seeds together are assets. Have assets. I firmly believe in that. Money, currency, not money, but currency, the debt instrument of the United States and every other country, that piece of paper that says, I promise to pay you this much, is not an asset. True. If you watch George Gammon, he just did a video, and I watched him last night or this morning early, I can't remember which, about the strength of the dollar. The strength of the dollar is strong everywhere in the world. I mean, just look at DXY, the dollar index, and you will see that the dollar relative to other currencies in the world, very strong. And we all know we're $35 trillion in debt that we owe the rest of the world, and that we owe Social Security and our government retirement funds and VA disability funds, Social Security disability funds, all of that stuff. We owe money to, that if the United States ever defaulted, let's just say every country in the world said, we want to get paid. We bought this many bonds from you, government bonds from you. We want to be paid. And we want to be paid in gold, or we want to be paid in assets. Some asset, whether it's gold, silver, uranium, which Hillary Clinton sold to Russia. Oh, man. Uranium is an asset, a physical asset. Russia wanted its money. So we sold them uranium. Uranium, for God's sake. China wanted its money. What did we sell China? Land. China owns land in the United States. Why does a foreign fucking government own land in the United States? That should be illegal. Not only illegal, it's just good common sense. And that's sorely lacking in our government today is common sense. In our politicians, it's common sense. I don't even agree with the federal government owning land, which they do. What do you call national parks? What do you call all the land out west that nobody actually, quote unquote, owns? The United States government does. So I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. I don't agree with Bill Gates being the largest owner of farmland in the United States. I don't agree with that. We may have to go back to the 40s where all the farmland, because it was owned by a few large corporations, was all seized and divvied out to individual farmers at 80 acres a person. Why do you think that's one of the main measurements of farmland now is 40, 20, 40, 80, 160 acres? Is because of that. You know, there's so many things in this country that are wrong. But let's get back to the monetary aspect. Let's suppose we run out of assets other than currency or gold or silver to pay other countries who say, hey, we want our money. What are we going to give them in the way of assets? Well, we're going to bargain somehow. What we've been doing over the years is selling them military hardware or selling them security services with our military, which is one of the biggest scams in the world. Yes, I spent 20 years in the military. Yes, I worked for the government for 26 years. And only after that did I finally come to the realization of what a fucking scam it is. Pardon my French. I'm a soldier. I'm a career soldier. I talk like that. If that offends you, please go somewhere else. This video is not made for children. If you're offended by that and you can get past your offense to listen to the message, you're an adult. If you're offended by that and you can't get past your offense, you have to change channels. You're a child yet. If you can't argue with someone and present facts and opinions and proof and be able to have your mind changed, if you are so dead set in your opinion that your mind can't be changed, you're a child yet. You're not an adult. You have to be able to change your mind when presented with facts, indisputable facts. You have to be able to change your mind as an adult and to change your opinion. Otherwise, you're not an adult, in my opinion. See what I did there? All right. Do I know how Kiwi was doing? Yes. I found out last night. Test came back. He has no blockage. So his heart's okay. Well, maybe not the heart muscle itself, but there is no blockage. So that's good news. He was on stream last night with Brad V, RC, Ashley. We even got not Dennis, but we got I can't think of his name. Oh, dang it. He came up on stage for a little bit. Oh, Silver Sewing Machine was there also. God dog. All right. Yes, but found out there's no blockage, so he's good that way. He won't have to get his arteries and stuff roto-rooted out. Which, yeah, it's a procedure, but I've known people that had it done. So it's not a big deal, but it leads to, or it could, have to put a stent in, have to have open heart surgery, put stents in, whatever, or have a roto-rooter done. And so there's no blockage, so I don't think he has to have that done. Now, that doesn't mean that an artery doesn't have a weak wall and it collapses every once in a while. May have to have a stent put in. Don't know that yet. But the good news is that there is no blockage. So now you got to take it from there. What is wrong? Something's wrong. Just don't know what's wrong. But we've eliminated that. So, all right. Kiwi was doing better. He was happy last night that he found that out. Well, I think everybody else left us, Dale. I don't think they're here, but this is turning into a stream sometimes. My mail openings, starting to turn into a stream like Trust, where I just come up and I wish I knew how to share my stream out so I could have somebody else come up here to talk to. I don't know how to do that. Somebody's going to have to tell me how to do it, and I'm going to have to try it. But okay, Natty. I'm going to have to try it. I don't know how to do that. I can see where I can shrink my screen and I can do the camera, and I have to put a thing up there, and I can share tab and all that. I can see that, but I'd have to be able to send you a link in an email or put it in chat, and then people could come up. I don't know how to do that. So until I learn manage, I don't have access to a camera feature. I don't have access to that feature or an audio feature. I don't know what that is. Pop out dashboard. Okay. And send feedback. Well, that doesn't do it. I can mute. I can share my screen. And it says share. I got an arrow here that says share. But right now, at this time, we could try it. I don't know if I want to push that button, because you start pushing buttons and you screw shit up. You see that box up there in the corner? That box has got to get packaged up today. I have to do that. That box is going to Skydive Spaceland down in Houston, Texas. So I get my reserve repacked and inspected so I can actually make a jump out of an airplane this year. I made a couple jumps to stay current last year before I had my surgery because I knew I was going to have it. I wasn't going to be able to jump. So I need to get an inspection and a repackage on my reserve so I can jump again this summer. See, Dale, thank you very much for coming and chatting and having a good time. All right, Natty, me and you're here. So I'm going to talk to myself. And I don't want to touch that thing right there because YouTube will take the whole video down. I don't want them to do that. So we've been up for an hour and 22 minutes. We might go for an hour, 25, hour and a half, and then we'll call it quits there. But I really do have to get that other box package up. And, to send that down, I take the main canopy out of there. So it's just a reserve and container and harness because that's all connected. But to send that down to Texas, it costs $65 or something, FedEx it. And then I pay for shipping on the way back, plus the inspection and the repack. So there's $125 or $120 there. So it costs me a couple $100 every year to have that reserve parachute inspected and repacked. And I'll be 68 in July. I'm not sure. I want to make it to 70. I want to make it 2 more years skydiving, jumping out of planes, because I miss that. I love that. I did it in the Army. I was a static line parachutist in the Army. I think I have 107 jumps there on static line. And I was a static line jump master. So I ensured that other people exited the aircraft. And I became a master parachutist, which is as high as I can go with static line. Then I went to rough terrain parachuting school with the Department of the Army. And you guys don't know that there are 2 different government employed firefighting firefighting teams. One's the Department of Agriculture, and the other one is it's under the National Park Service, but Department of the Interior. There you go. Department of the Interior. So there's 2 forest fire fighting teams there. And we went to we had an agreement with the Department of Agriculture's firefighting school out in Missoula, Montana. And we went out there for the rough terrain parachuting portion of their school. We did not go to the firefighting portion of their school, just the rough terrain parachuting part of it. So I did that and made those jumps, qualifying jumps. So I'm a Department of Agriculture rough terrain parachutist. And I went to Halo School, high altitude, low opening, which is kind of a misnomer. High altitude, no, when you're jumping at 25, 30,000 feet, but low opening is very relative. Normal opening altitude, 4,000 to 3,500 feet. You can take it a lot lower because there is something called hey-ho, high altitude, high opening, which is where you get out of the airplane at, say 15, 16,000 feet, immediately open your parachute and do a silent insertion miles away. So that's a possibility too. Anyway, I went to Halo School, Halo School, and became a novice Halo parachutist. Never did go to Halo Jumpmaster School because at the time our battalion in Special Forces didn't have Halo teams or scuba teams. We were just regular mountain teams. So after Halo School, never did another Halo jump in the military. Would have liked to go into military Halo Jumpmaster School. Would have been a blast, I think. The other thing I never went to was, and they quit giving badges for it. And I think they quit the school for that, just like Jungle Warfare School, was Pathfinder School. Never went to Pathfinder School. Never got the opportunity to go, which was the only other thing jumping-wise in the military that I didn't get to do. So I like that. Does it occur to you guys that I like jumping out of airplanes? Just love it. I was a tandem parachute instructor, a static line parachute instructor, and accelerated free fall jump master and instructor on the civilian side until I started having children. And I and my wife thought it was a good idea that we both quit jumping just in case one of us had an accident. I mean, the worst I ever did was a landing accident, and I was by myself under free fall or under canopy coming in for a landing. And in the spring, the difference between black ground and a grass runway, the thermals are so much different. The thermals off the black dirt farm ground are strong, so you have a lot of up current. And when you get over the green runway, not so much. And I found that out. So it was like an invisible hand took my parachute at 30 feet and just slammed me into the ground. And thank God for my military training. Otherwise, I could have broke a lot more. But the only thing I broke, I did a small spiral fracture on my left fibula and just a minor breakage of my left ankle. They had to screw the outside part of my ankle back on. That was all. It's that little cap, on the outside of your ankle with the joint there. They had to screw that cap back on, but they had to put a plate and screws in for the spiral fracture. But that's the only accident I and my wife ever had under canopy. Yes, we've had reserve rides. Yes, we've had malfunctions, but always landed safely. So we decided it was time to quit jumping when we had children, especially young children. And didn't know it at the time, but circumstances would be so that I was working for the Department of the Army at the time, fixing helicopter radios. I was an avionics repairman on Hueys and Kios at the time, OH-58s, UH-1s and OH-58s. And during the great reshuffling of 94, 95. We call it the great reshuffling. Um, all of the special forces slots in the reserve and a lot of transportation aviation slots were given to the National Guard. So the 11th and 12th Special Forces Group went away. The money in the slots were given to the 19th and 20th Special Forces groups that were in the National Guard. The avionics that I was doing on those Hueys was for a transportation company, aviation transportation company in the reserves. So not only did my reserve unit go away, my civilian job went away at the same time. So the government's real good at looking out for people. They found me another reserve unit to join, which I didn't like, and I had 14 months until I could retire. So I hung out for 14 months, and that's when I had that breakage of my left ankle, or left fibula. So I was in a cast going to this other new reserve unit. So I stuck out 14 months there, but at the same time, we moved to Southern Iowa because the Department of the Army is real good about finding us jobs. They said, well, what else are you capable of doing? What else can you do? What are you good at? And I said, well, when I was in high school, I worked for a auto dealership as a detailer and an oil changer. And I also did some minor mechanic work. They said, good enough. You are now a heavy mobile equipment repairman. You have this job in Southern Iowa if you want it. And so I and my wife talked it over, and all of our friends, 2 children born in the Chicago area, Bolingbrook, which was a western suburb of Chicago, but 20 minutes from Chicago downtown. And we talked about it. And we had always wanted to move back to Iowa if we were going to have children, because then they would be close to their families and their grandparents and whatever. Okay. So we moved to Washington, Iowa. Now, my reserve unit's still up in Arlington Heights, Illinois, which is northwest of Chicago. So I had to travel every month from Washington, Iowa, which is south of Iowa City, if you know where that is, by about 30 minutes south of Iowa City, all the way to Chicago, northwest Chicago, every month for drill. So I tried to find myself another reserve unit in southern Iowa or in Iowa that I could be part of. But being a master sergeant in E8 at the time, the only slots they had available were first sergeants of companies. I could go to work at a battalion or brigade or regiment headquarters, but no slots opening. So the only slot open was a first sergeant slot in Council Bluffs or someplace like that. I don't know. I don't remember anymore. I went up and interviewed for the slot. Yes, we'd like to have you, but we promised this slot to one other E8, and I knew who it was because I had worked with him at another reserve unit first. And if he doesn't want it, you can have it. Great. He took it, which left his slot open. Somebody else immediately moved into his slot down there. I'm screwed. So I'm still driving to Northeast Illinois for drill. So what I did was I RST'd. Okay. And anybody in the military knows you're doing a drill not at your parent unit, but with another unit. Okay. So I RST'd with units in southern Iowa, one here, one there for a few months, with 6-8 months, until I finally retired and got the hell out of the military. I was so disenfranchised at that point that I just got the hell out. I would have liked to stay 10 more years, but I couldn't. So there you go. So I retired. And when we moved to southern Iowa, I would have had to drive 3 hours to get to a drop zone. Ironically, I'm doing that now. but I chose not to do that. We quit skydiving at the time, so chose not to do that. So 7 months there working on heavy equipment, and I mean heavy equipment, big diggers, big tractor vehicles, construction equipment, D9, D10 bulldozers, big backhoes, big diggers, little diggers. I mean, all the way down to little generators, construction equipment. Did that for 7 years until a electronics repair job opened up closer to where we wanted to move to. At that time, my in-laws decided they didn't want to live here anymore. They wanted to live closer to town. So he bought 30 acres, 35 acres, built a new house, and they moved closer to Osage. So we moved up here to the old place where my wife was born and redid this place. Okay, so we're close to grandparents, we're close to family now. But my job was still in Cedar Falls, Iowa, Waterloo, which is still an hour and 20-minute drive for me to go to work every morning and come home. Not a big deal. Not after living in Chicago or Bolingbrook and then having to drive up to Glenview Naval Air Station, which was a good hour one way or 3 hours the other way, depending on how traffic was. So an hour and 20, 25 minutes to get to work, drive back, not a big deal. So I did that for another, oh my God, 11, 17, another 13 years. Yeah, another 13 years, something like that. And then finally retired from that job. I could have stayed working there for another 4 years, but the Department of the Army has this rule that if you have 30 years of service and you're 56, you can retire. So I did. Man, did I do that. I grabbed that in a heartbeat. Now, that retirement's not the greatest because there was a structured retirement there. The Department of the Army retirement, the Army retirement is not that great. I just call that my beer money. That's my gold and silver money, my coin money per month. And then I'm 70%, 80% disabled according to the VA because I can still walk somewhat. I have a broken back. I have a fused right ankle twice. I have quad muscles that have been sewed onto my right knee twice. I have a plate and 9 screws in my left fibula. I had that screw in the ankle removed. I had a skull fracture and concussion while I was in Germany on an exercise. I get nothing for that. No TBI, traumatic brain injury. No PTSD. Although I've tried to kill myself twice until I found one of my old cohorts online. And I'll give him a shout out here, redonkulous.com. If it's ridiculous and wrong, it's redonkulous. And he told me not to attempt a temporary solution or a permanent solution to a temporary problem, which is what ending your own life is. And I got to thinking about the people left behind and what they would go through. So I have decided at that point not to attempt that again. And the reason I didn't go through with it the second time was that my neighbor came driving down the road. I was parked on a gravel road in my pickup. I was about to pull the trigger. And my neighbor came over the hill in a pickup and he was checking fields that I was parked next to. And I put the gun down. And I thought to myself, well, why did you put the gun down? What difference would it have made? I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed. And that hit me really hard. So that was the end of that. I called the hotline, got some help. I got off my head meds, which was a big help because the VA had me on some head meds and for depression and anxiety. So I weaned myself off of those, and that helped tremendously. And I found redonkulous.com. Terrence Pop. Terrence Pop was in the 12 Special Forces group with me, although I didn't know him personally all the time. And when I think back on it, I did do one mission with him up in Michigan, but he was a younger NCO at the time, and I was an older NCO, so I didn't interact with them, but we did a mission with them. I remember because he was in Charlie Company, C Company, 1st Battalion in Michigan, and I was in B Company, 1st Battalion in Illinois. So I know I did a mission with him. When he describes that mission, I remember it clear as day. Laughed my ass off at him. So I remember him. I bought his book, and he signed it. He put all of his military assignments, he listed them all in the book, and sent a personal message. I am number 478, I believe, of men saved. So I've had a history. I can't say it was a good history, especially when it comes to raising kids, because I had 3 daughters. So my wife had the job of raising girls. I am not a girl guy, as you can tell from stuff that I've done. I'm not a girl guy, but I did teach them how to change oil, change a flat tire, get their hands dirty. I mean, they had their difficulties growing up too, and I tried to do the best I could, but hey, I got my oldest daughter's married, lives in Philadelphia, has a pretty good paying job, has traveled extensively all over Europe, went to school, got her master's degree in London. Yeah, she's got a hell of a debt load, but she can handle it. And her husband, Caden, he could handle it. So the only time my wife's been to Philadelphia twice or 3 times. I've been out there once for the wedding. Had a great time. Went and saw all the historical. Our hotel was right by the historical section of Philadelphia there, so we didn't see the baddest part. Oh, there's some bad there. It's not. I had Philly cheesesteak sandwiches till my eyes bulged out. We went to that big market that covers like a city block. It's all under roof. Everything you can imagine there. Butchers, bakers, candlestick makers. Oh, just wonderful. And buying stuff there. Went to the Philadelphia Mint. Took that tour. Went to the gift shop. Bought some stuff there. Where else did we go? Benjamin Franklin's grave and the cemetery there. Christ Church. Liberty Hall, the museum, everything. And I was on a cane and in a boot on my right ankle. So we walked everywhere, man. Probably the best exercise I had in a long time. Okay, Natty, very good. I'm just sitting here reminiscing. All right, not bad. I'm going to end it at 1:45. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. I was just talking to myself. See you, man. Okay, we're going to end this stream, guys. All of my chat has left. I am done sharing. Nobody's listening anyway. I was talking to myself. So, until then, everybody, live free or die. We'll see you later, man.